to replicate the Viper as well. Something that Artez has played a lot in the past, actually, but not a hero that I found to have much successes in the region.
And suddenly, not a hero I was expecting either. He actually, it's really funny. Going into Nanyang, he hadn't been played very much, and then I think Avicii played him a bunch and won with him, so it was like, oh, good, Morphling's good, and then of course they were the only ones who played him, so then Morphling had a really good win rate. Unfortunately, they did end up falling with it, but I don't know how it's gonna go. It's...
You know, the nice thing with Viper, and then the replicate attacks the Viper.
Oh yeah, infinite.
Yeah, it triggers the corrosive skin. It's actually something that was used in the past when Viper was getting first picked by like LGD every time. But again, the Morphling days are over. Viper days are kind of over as well. Pick the Viper in against the Queen of Pains, against the Dazzles, against squishy intel heroes.
Yeah, really nice to see. Now I'm going to quickly introduce the teams. Hopefully this isn't a long pause. We've had a lot of pause gaming earlier today.
Always.
And yeah, just something sometimes Dota gives up. We've of course got Fodder on the Viper, Kuroki on Spirit Breaker, Jerax on that Wyvern, Matumba Man, who sometimes I don't know why I have a lot of trouble saying Matumba Man in team fights. I'm pretty sure I said Matumba Ton, and then also Matumba Banana, which is a life choice, but either way, he's going to be on that hard carry of Slok, and then Mind Control on the docks here. And tossing it over to you to introduce Yellow Submarine, who have not all loaded in.
Right, sure, I'll try it. I'm not good at it. Yellow Submarine, PSM, Captain, and the Dazzle at this point. We got Artez, the former carry of HR, playing Morphlings. Glorious Mid Empire, if it is the same scan.
Yeah.
Playing the Queen of Pain. Miposhka, who's been a CIS competitive player for a long time, playing the Clockwork now. Or it's, I believe, another remnant of teams coming in here with the Ruby.
Yeah, this is definitely, as you said, this is a lot of common CIS names, and it is the same scandal. So, wearing a really weird set where Queen of Pain can't see. That doesn't seem like the best of strategies. This is kind of funny though, because I feel like Morphling, obviously someone who can be a really hard carry, but so can Slok, and I just feel like Slok has such a better mid game than the Morphling potentially, unless he somehow gets ahead here.
Yeah,
so,
in general, like, Darkseer thing was actually started back during the eHome Glory days when he against the Darkseer, and it was very effective, and that's period of time, especially the I2 era. Now it's after so many stats and buffs to Darkseer, even with the 5-second iron shells, clarities really add up to how the lane played out, and even with the Dazzle again, I don't know, man. Definitely not.
We'll see how it goes for them. Maybe they can make something happen, and there's always funny things that happen in games. I've definitely seen teams get out-drafted, but, you know, end up getting a few early kills, which just snowball the game for them, but they've got already an early smoke coming out from Yellow Submarine, and Darkseer not the easiest hero to catch, but if you come at him from behind without him knowing, I actually would prefer a pincer here for them, but they just want to find anybody, and usually if you've got 5 men on 1, you're going to get a kill, although Mind Control, will he be surrounded? There's going to be a telekinesis from Garech. Let's see if Miposha, in the cogs, and Mind Control going down here, slowly but surely. A couple more auto attacks, going to Clockwork, so nice start for him.
Yeah, not a bad start, especially if he's going to play the solo lane against the Darkseer, which it looks like he is actually, with this. I didn't really mention lane tri lane the Darkseer, but it looks like they're gonna go aggressive and try to dodge the dual lane potential. Darkseer Spirit Breaker dual lane, and that's usually hard to crack with squishy intel heroes.
Yeah. We've also got a charge onto Scandal, which does not steal him the rune, but Kuroki just doing some early harassment, gonna make Queen of Pain's life harder. She actually doesn't, I'm assuming she's ferrying out a salve immediately, yeah. So.
Yep, standard mid lane, and of course PSM's here too, well, if he would like to. I thought it'd be a good idea. Maybe another tangle. He did get a little bit of gold from the blood, so.
Yeah, these days, oh goodness, Optic Burn with, Scandal
he's
needs
dead.
to blink away. He does, Shadow Strike first, and yeah, he's dead. A bit of a mistake there from Scandal skilling that up, and That's what happens when they know what you have for the first engagement. I was going to say how it's really common these days. The Wyvern comes mid-level 1, Arctic burns a bit, goes back to her lane, and so Dazzle would be that too, but knowing you have Shadow Strike, not good.
Just Shadow Strike as soon as we got to the lane and Fada just hit level 2 Corrosive Skin. You can see now, Scandal's actually going to take damage from Shadow Striking Viper. It's just not a fair trade when you can cast Shadow Strike. Again, he's casting it again.
He's gonna blink away this time, but as you said, Scandal taking quite a bit of damage from that Corrosive Skin. Not a fun lane. Looking elsewhere, we do have Mind Control up against Miposhka on top. This lane, generally feel like Darkseer has a lot of freedom here. He can wave cut, he can do what he wants. Maybe Miposhka can get some mana draining on with cogs, but feels like Darkseer is gonna be very happy.
And of course now Fada's coming back. He's already purchased up the Ring of Basti, so he's going to be able to complete a Ring of Aquila. Again, just so much more pressure coming out, and we know Scandal does not have a salve available anymore, so he's very limited regen. And his bottle's not coming either, because even though he has 5 CS, he's already died once, and it's only going to get worse for him. So it's a very difficult matchup, and even Kuro is coming in a bit with charge potential. And this is pretty much a clean dominance for Liquid here at the middle line.
How do you salvage this? If you're the co-op, you're probably a little bit upset here. On Scandal, you're like, okay, this isn't how I wanted it to go. Do you say, hey, supports, maybe you can stack up something? I'm a Queen of Pain, I can take some stacks. Do you ask Rubik to come mid with his haste? I don't think Rubik can help you out.
No, not against the Viper. Especially a Viper that just builds pure stats on Ring of Aquila. Look at this guy, he's already levels, he's got 7 armor at level 3. And he's got Corrosive Skin, that much harder. In terms of salvaging the lane, to be completely frank, it's possible. Again, with this lane setup, the Morph needs all the attention he can get from the... And they're aggro trying, that they just cannot rotate it, otherwise they just lose out on the lane.
Yeah.
So, from the early game, from the get draft as well as set up in the lane, Liquid are coming out vastly ahead.
And they're going for a charge onto top. Miposhka, he can definitely cogs this out, but it might be able to come from the trees a bit sneakily. Miposhka, he should be able to cogs it, and he gets it. And so now Kuroki, sad, monolith, but, and taking actually a lot of tower harass, finally swapping off that aggro. And again in mid, now Dazzle taking a lot of harassment. Both Scandal and Dazzle getting low. It's just what you talked about. Viper is dominating this lane.
Yeah, it's a Viper against Intel's, like, Squid. Can actually send and the Dazzle, and this Viper will still... It's to that extent right now because of the snowballing factor.
Yeah, so I agree with you as well. We've now got this problem of they've rotated the Dazzle and now this tri-lane. I don't know if they were hoping for kills with the Morph lane, but you're certainly not getting them now when you're down a man.
The Dazzle was here, like, potential is very limited. Just the Slark into like 3 creeps and do a massive heal bomb or something, it's just not gonna happen.
So, feeling a bit unfortunate for Yellow Submarine, and it might even be something where you want to end up rotating your heroes just because you're getting... I mean, I guess Slark is... Actually, no, he's getting nothing on bottom. I didn't realize. So that's something.
Yeah, in terms of yes, it's not bad, but again, when the enemy starts investing 3 heroes in the off lane, where they're not in a good... try and shut you down and you're still 4 minutes, it's like, it's decent. Because you know Matumba Man, he's gonna get up on his farm when he hits level 6. He's gonna start jungling with his Dark Pack. And again, they won't be able to stop him. But here we go, Fada.
They're going for a gank on him. It looks like he's taking a lot of damage. He's still tanky, so tanky. And he pops 1 charges. He almost lives there because of those. And look at how low Scandal gets. It's what you talked about, the Corrosive Skin. They also managed to pick up Wyvern in the bottom lane. And now Ortez, he's going to just TP out while morphing Strength. And they managed to pick up some kills for Yellow Submarine. But you had to, as you said, expending 3 heroes on mid and them almost going down.
Yeah, it's like, that's just one of those kills that had to do it, but it could have gone so bad for them if there was like one super champion at the back lines, especially someone like Brokey. But I think it was realized and recognized that at least. But I think that's also a product of Fada doing a really greedy build. I know Bottle is not really you want to go for on Viper these days, but he has like absolutely 0 regen. So I think most of the time when he takes any harassment, it's going to take a lot of time to build that up again in his life points. And I think the reason why that gank happened is actually because of that, because he wasn't full when they fought.
Yeah. So we will see as well. They don't actually have any stacks out yet for Matumba Man, and that's something, as you mentioned, I think will be really important for helping him catch up. The Queen of Pain, is getting a couple made for her, so hopefully there'll be some salvaging of Scandal's farm, but Matumba Man might be not in the best of moods as the game progresses, although now he's starting to have a much better time. He's suddenly out-CSing the Morphling. I mean, I guess pushing him out of lane, doing enough work, and of course the gank in middle freeing up some space there, even though the Wyvern did end up dying. Although, as I say this, a lot of damage going out on Matumba Man.
Is under attack.
Got a salve and he's got a low.
Yeah. So, suddenly feeling pretty good. I'm a little bit surprised by how slow this game is, just because they did run the aggro try, but as you said, it's not really a kill lane for them, and neither side that interested. I mean, you'd love a kill if it came your way, but you're not going to go out of your way because it could turn on you very fast when you're fighting into something like a Dazzle.
Right. The main objective definitely to dodge the Darkseer Spirit Breaker potential lane, because they could have lost their intel heroes like left and right, and Morphling would have gotten pressured out of lane as well. Even then, as you see, like as you mentioned, even with the kill in CS, I guess, not only is Matumba Man leading in CS, but also period of time you can see the Stark just solo zoning the more because of the level difference, as well as the fact we have a melee hero with a 4-man shield versus a range hero without one. It's difficult. This is why aggro tri-lanes and putting carries in the offlane is generally advised against.
Yeah. Now, something else I wanted to point out, though, is that we have some interesting levels floating around. Kuroki's still level 2. This will happen to your roaming Spirit Breaker, but we are 6 minutes in, and he needs to maybe get a kill, get something done. Otherwise, he's going to be getting that Nether Strike very late, and they certainly need that lockdown for Scandal. And as I say, this Kuroki hook-shotted on. He is going to maybe try to charge away, but one more auto attack will do it. Gorge getting that kill. At the same time on bottom, Matumba Man, oh, he goes down as well. I thought he was going to get away for sure there.
Wow. Surprised as well that there's like no disables. Morphling, did he wait for that?
He waveformed over the top of Matumba Man's head, and Matumba Man was playing a little bit too low.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he went a bit in a bit riskily, trying to get some harassment out, it looks like. So, and they're gonna get, is Gorich going for the deep ward? Yeah. So, a nice, yep. I actually would have preferred one there to see the rotations, but I guess this one also gives vision over here. So, it's something.
Yeah, any deep ward at this point is pretty good to have in general, because it shows that you were able to get in that position in the first place. But that kill on Matumba definitely really big. Something I didn't expect, and I was really looking at the top lane when they 3-man ganked the Spirit Breaker. Yeah. And that was like really not worth it.
100%. He's level 2. He's second to bottom on the net worth shot.
Yeah, like your first Clockwork hook being used for that, and then having to go back to heal for that. Don't know. Something that they got because it was like available to them right there, but Scandal rule that really hurt. Now he's forced to just stay at top, and I guess to an extent he can't really lane against them, but you can already see the Queen of Pain vastly behind on his game. Yeah, so far compared to Fada's 40.
Yeah, so Fada having a ball. Now, what do you go? I know a lot of Slocks, especially when I'm casting NA Dota, they love going Midas first on this hero, but considering this Slock didn't have the Matumba Man, not having the best of starts, does he have maybe just rush the Sandra Nyosha off to some treads? What's the play?
I'm Midas myself in games like these because Midas is a great comeback item. Attack speed is fantastic on start. I don't know, he might just go to Shadow Blade. It's very possible what he does is like amongst multiple different options. I do think Midas is. They'll just farm the woods non-stop. They can never kill him, and if they can't kill him, he's.
The charge is gonna latch, but again, Ortez, he does have another waveform to get out, and Matumba Man taking so much damage from that. This is just what he can't stand up to. The waveform doing way too much work, and every time it comes out, he's having to back off. So, these ganks on Morphling not latching, and I think this is really hurting Liquid's lineup.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird how they're taking this. I guess the Dazzle is a big issue, a big reason why this is happening, because applying that heal bomb threat, but also he's there for the Grave, and they don't have a hard lockdown yet because the supports are neither supports are level 6. But it's just weird how they're approaching the game. Push out the lanes and farm. Play around the Darkseer right now, who's the strongest hero on their game aside from the Viper. I think they would have a better chance third time.
Speaking of the strongest hero, he's about to get hook-shotted. Will they be able to finish him off with Scandal here? Might just auto-attack him to death, and that is a goodbye mind control. And they're just getting much better pickups from Yellow Submarine. The farm, actually, on Liquid, when it comes to CS, the Viper, and as you talked about, the Darkseer farming really well, but they're not getting any sort of picks, and I like the Darkseer has wall early. I'm not quite sure where he's going to be able to use it.
Yeah, that was really weird, but I mean it is clockwork. It is heroes that's not a dark seer when he's isolated. One of the reasons that mind control actually went bottle, there's not many dark seers that, at least from what I've seen, they usually just go for the soul ring mana boots. But if you do go for bottle, like well, a lot of times you'll go for the rune as well. And but I'm starting to notice why they have a Viper at mid and doesn't get bottle, so you want somebody to go for the or have rune presence. But that's the kind of play that it opens up to. Those runes, a clockwork can hook you. You have to watch them.
Yep, and in bottom, Ortez just having the time of his life. He's picked up his CS a bunch. Splinter Blast gonna harass him a little bit, but he's got options and he's got a Dazzle backing him up. He could be going for the Midas as well on Morphling. I'm not super sure, because I feel like he would have finished the treads if that's what he was going for.
Yeah, I think this game, I don't think... thing is, Morphling with a Midas is never bad, really. But this is one of those games where I feel like the way he's played so far wants to keep it up. He needs stats as possible. To the point where I would imagine something like a Treads Manta or Yasha.
Oh, the wall is dropped on Scandal up top, and Mind Control manages to take him down. The hookshot from Miposhka actually misses, and if Mind Control can juke around, he's gonna get out, and he has a surge for sure. And now Miposhka in a lot of trouble. Fodder pushed back by the cogs, but he should be able to work his way around. He's pretty fast, and with Spirit Breaker coming in as well, Miposhka going down. What a play coming out from the Darkseer and the eventual death of Miposhka. He puts an Ion Shell on Fodder, not exactly best Ion Shell target, but you know. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
So.
It is indeed, and yeah, now we have in his inventory, you have 3 sources of mana: Soul Ring, Bottle, and Mana Boots. I personally think it's overkill, but hey, if you can spam that shell, why not?
Yeah, I agree. As you said, it's a bit of overkill. It does feel like sometimes you can even get by with the Soul Ring for quite a while. We see a lot of Darkseers go Soul Ring into mech. So, after with just brown boots, but personal preference, and as you said, the rune control really powerful. If Queen of Pain is suddenly running at you with a haste, you're gonna have a bad time. So, speaking of Scandal, working on that catch up is not looking good though.
Yep, Matuma Man's almost gotten hunted down here. They have 2 wards in the woods trying to scout him out, and the Clockwork's obviously gonna be a tower for a tower trade because Liquid already got it at top, and Scandal.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm not
did
sure
not
what that
catch
was.
that.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Was he just too slow?
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
His blink was on cooldown apparently.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
maybe
I feel like
slowed out.
I feel like if he blinked out of a chase scenario, he could have right after the blink because they had no more stuns to follow up. It almost looked like they just walked up to him and finished him off.
That does happen sometimes, right? You make a mistake. They've got some really deep wards on the side of Liquid already coming out, making sure that they have a lot of map presence, and Scandal could have thought, hey, I'm behind, you know, I'm on my tier 2, I should be safe.
Is under attack.
And instead Fodder is like, this is my jungle, I live here, I have my drums up. That's another thing, Fodder's gone for a very, very fast build. He might even pick up the Sanjan Yasha. He's got an easier, you know, sometimes we see Vipers go mech. Of course not the case here because there's a Darkseer who would love to, in the event of an Orchid, get up those Guardian Greaves. So Viper's freed up to go a bit more of that Sanjan Yasha, potentially some other items if he needs to build for damage as well.
Yeah, Bara's actually like very well-known Viper / Razor player, and I think lately he's changed up his item build on both heroes. He used to go like mech every game on both Razor and Viper, but from what I've seen in his Razor games, he's gone S and Y every single game. It's my first time seeing drums on him. Viper, I don't know how good it is, but I think he'll be going for S and Y next, just by his record.
Yeah, it's not something I've seen him run either, because usually one person on the team gets the drums, another gets the Aquila, just so that you don't have so many items you potentially have to sell super late game. But Jerax, he's slowing up an illusion. We've got a rocket coming in, and they've got the telekinesis onto Fodder. The hookshot as well, but I don't know if Fodder minds too much. But Clockwork, he's got backup, and that is a dead Viper if I've ever seen one. Pure damage doesn't care about your corrosive skin, so a nice pick-off. At the same time, top lane being pushed in by Matumba Man, and he can just walk on away with that passive.
That was a really even though yes, little Submarine rotated 5 heroes, but the fact that they got Fada, who is most farmed hero, they're able to pressure that much harder. Of course, they're still going up against the Darkseer Iron Shell with heroes that don't really push out the wave that hard. But again, a really big pick nevertheless. And now we're just gonna have this carry versus carry thing where both heroes farm the opposite sides of the map. Let's have ulti though.
Yeah, and we will see what happens. Ortez is being stunned up. Can they actually catch him? He uses his own stun, and the shallow grave comes out, and suddenly Ortez is away. Matumba Man's like, hey Kuroki, I'm out, and Maposhka, he's coming in. Not a hook shot for a while, but now Matumba Man coming back. He immediately purges off the lift from Gorech, and he manages to leap over the wave there. They see him though, and the hook shot, it's getting close to being off of cooldown. 7 more seconds, but here comes Sparta coming in on the backside. Gorech going down, and now mind control. He is ready. Could potentially, no, he misses the vacuum, but Kuroki doesn't care about your cog. A hook shot over to the Jerax, and suddenly I don't think he wanted to be near Jerax either, although Jerax taking a lot of damage with the blade mail, but there is the Winter's Curse, and Fodder going in, just gonna be auto attacking people, actually going for the body blocks. A bit of a funky move there. I wasn't expecting that one, and just trying to see if he can also catch PSM, but no such luck, so they managed to turn around that weird engagement onto the Morphling and get 2 kills out of it.
Bro was paying for that Azul kill too, because he saw that he had no.
Yeah.
Go. But that kill, Bro canceled his first ultimate. I'm not sure, like when he was channeling the ulti, he just like stopped and he just. I'm not sure what happened. Because if they got that ultimate off right away, with Dash and they would have just bursted down the Morphling before the supports could rotate in and actually grave him and delay the death and everything. So that was kind of weird. As a matter of fact, he actually didn't go.
Yeah, I know, the
turn around,
Morphling lived.
said.
So.
I figured he died, but he actually just didn't die. I think I don't know what happened.
He wandered away, so he got healed, he got shallow graved, so he got out of the fight, and then he started to come back in, and then the moment that Matumba Man appeared, he was like, oh, you're on your own team. So, and that's,
that was weird,
I mean,
though. I don't know why Kuro canceled channeling of his. That was a kill for sure, I think.
no. A bit unfortunate there. So now we're going to be seeing Matumba Man lifted up again. He does get the purge. It's a bit late, and they have the hook shot. But again, Dark Pact doing work, and now he just manages to pounce away. I don't think they can catch anybody else with hook shot down, and they might actually get engaged upon. Mind control is there and ready. He has got the wall vacuum. They go on Gorech. They don't even need the wall vacuum. Maposhka, I think, stopping the rest of them from going in. But Ortez comes in. He is in. He has the ability to replicate out. I'm just not quite sure why he even came into the fight and putting himself in a bad position. He's got the TP, but do they have any sort of stopping mechanism? And that would be a no. With the Winter's Curse on cooldown, I think it's really rough to lock down a Morphling.
Yeah, certainly. Pretty close call for them, but do get out scot-free for the time being. Again, though, even if they rotate heroes in with waves, they're gonna have a hard time. Their win condition this game is that they have to wipe their heroes with liquid. And again, that Viper kill was really good earlier, but I'm not sure how many of those they're gonna find, because that was kind of like a free kill when Fada just walked into the fight. I don't think, even with the vision advantage, I don't think they're gonna get that again.
Now, if you're Fodder here, are you thinking, I feel like Sanj and Yasha is nice just because there are a bunch of stuff that does go through BKB. I mean, I guess you can not have to worry about Morphling's waveform and stun and Rubik's telekinesis and Fade Bolt, but I don't know how much, as someone with corrosive skin built into your hero, you worry about that. Maybe just tanking up is the right way to go.
Approach is fine. Frank, if he gets BKB, like, he won't die in the fights. They just don't have enough physical damage right now to deal with.
We have an engagement up top. They also use the vacuum on PSM. Gonna shallow grave himself. Should give Ortez time to get out as well. And unless they get a bash. Oh, but they use the Winter's Curse as well. That's really unfortunate. It means there's no hope of locking down Ortez, and they're actually still going on him. But he's just gonna get out. I'm pretty sure he's still staying around. Just being a bit of a pain. And yeah, there he goes. Replicating away. Is it called replicating away?
Yeah, replicating, morphing away.
Morphing away, so.
Just got out of there in the end. Yeah, nice little cheeky move. Trying to harass a little bit more, grabbing himself an extra magic stick charge, I guess, but it really hurts him in the. He's the carry, he's the most boring hero, and Roki's more than happy wasting all the time he can on the.
Yeah.
Oh,
a hook shot onto Matumba Man. He should be able to pounce in 1 second. Can they body block him? And he's gonna go down.
They blocked him. It was a nice move. He had to pounce right away after the hook. Koshka was already trying to get into position for it. Yeah. And by the time he did it, it was already too late.
And that's the up and the downside, of course. As a Slork, you can always kind of pounce into the cogs if the Clockwork's trying to push you out and so on, but you can also be body blocked and not be able to escape with that pounce. So, charge stolen by Gorech. I don't think they're going to follow up here. I think Yellow Submarine, yeah, they completely know that there are too many of Liquid's heroes nearby. Although Winter's Curse is down. So,
yeah, I just want to note that charge actually wasn't stolen.
Oh.
Traditionally Rubik was good against Spirit Breaker because you could steal a charge, and back then you could. apply the greater bash with the charge.
Yeah.
Now, because of empowering haste, like any good spirit breaker will charge from across the map, and then they'll just click the empowering haste button, whether it's W or G, and then they just like you'll never steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard to steal. Even if you steal ultimate, it doesn't do the greater bash proc as it does for spirit breaker. Rubik's not as good on against spirit breaker anymore as it.
Now, both sides have a number of smokes. Oh, we have an engagement going out onto PSM. There's also a courier nearby. Nether Strike. He does have the shallow grave, of course. It's going to buy him some time. Can the rest of his team come in? TP rotations as well. The TP out. Oh, he's vacuumed back. But I don't know if this is good for Liquid. They're all around here. Fodder getting gone on. And now his team kind of blocked off by the cogs. Charge is going to come out, but will it be too late? Viper is on the deck. And now Kuroki, he could be in a spot of trouble. The rocket comes out, though. And with the wall down, I don't know how many of them want to pursue. They're so low. Naposha getting bashed up. They use the Fade Ball to like reduce his damage, and just Breakmail coming back off cooldown doesn't matter. He is dead.
Dear.
Sonic Wave missed on Kuroki. He gets another kill, and Kuroki will finally go down, but he got a bunch of people deaded. Now Mind Control, I think he can just surge away. The Sonic Wave missing, really unfortunate.
Yeah, I think obviously he didn't anticipate the round on Rubik, but I think Kuroki noticed the life points dropping because there's an Iron Shell on me and I'm a Spirit Breaker. I'm not sure if it would have saved the kill. Regardless, the Sonic Wave is only on for 40 seconds because he has the Aghanim Step, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But Tumman also picked up a new item just now. He picked... I think only European Slarks still do this over the Shadow Blade. All the other Slarks, like NA and Chinese, I think they all go for Shadow Blades. I'm not sure. It's good for split pushing.
Yeah, I very much agree with that, and it's something where as long as Fodder is making space, even though he unfortunately went down, but it's something where the amount of time it takes to kill Fodder, Slog can get stuff done elsewhere on the map. So, he is tanky. Now, Mind Control will have... He could actually pick up the Blink Dagger already, and I'm a little surprised... There we go. I was about to say, maybe he's saving up for something else, but he goes for the obvious choice, picking up the Blink Dagger.
He'll have to drop an item for it. Get rid of his TP, because there's obviously not that much pushing going on from yellow, so here's an attempt on Artez.
Yeah, let's see, Nether Strike gonna come out. Miposhka is close enough, and there's a vacuum, but they're stuck in the cogs, actually pushed out. Maybe a misplay from Artez. They're gonna catch Kuroki. Sonic Wave, Mind Control healing up mostly from it. He doesn't have dot on him. He didn't actually have the blink delivered. Courier doing funky things. He finally gets the blink, but here comes the Tomberman. Winter's Curse as well. Torax is dead. Now they're working in on Scandal, of course. Has the blink up if she wants it. Fodder again, caught in the middle of everything, but Torax with the cold embrace is not taking nearly enough damage, and with the wall down, how are they going to get over to the other side? Miposhka goes down. They'll gladly trade that for Wyvern, and oh, Scandal's going on Mind Control though now. Maybe he can actually stand here and fight, but not with the waveform coming through. A little bit surprised Matomberman didn't re-engage there.
Yeah, I am
What's
too,
the
actually.
lockdown? I feel like there wasn't lockdown for him.
Yeah, I feel like I made like two really backward blink, safety blink. There was one time after the Wyvern Curse killed the target, blinked away to Dark Pact himself from some buffs. I'm not sure which one, but and then again, like towards the end there, he blinked away again instead of just going in on the bot.
Yeah.
No, he had the Iron Shell on him. Like he was strong. I think he could have actually cleaned up that fight. There was a lot of weave on him, weave stacks on him, so I sort of understand his wariness.
Yeah, so... And it's something where he may not... Of course, we, as casters, have the whole vision. He may not have realized that a lot of things are on cooldown, maybe worried about somebody else being the positioning. It can be scary, especially if you know that you're farming really well and you don't want to give them a big bounty. This game is really close, that's the other thing. It's not at all like the other games Liquid has played today, and he just Midas the TP creep? That's a bit weird.
Yeah, that was very nice. Of course, Artez, he has the bots, still moving around very fast, and he's not much. But you know, we haven't talked too much about this guy. He's farming really well.
Yeah.
Okay, net worth almost finished up his Lincolns with the boots travel as well as the Midas, and he's slowly becoming a factor. You know, Morphling, he stopped getting picked because his ability to transition into the mid game was so weak. His laning phase was crippled from the loss of stats. But hey, when you can Midas, boot travel, and be the highest net worth in the game, it's one of the scenarios that could definitely make it.
And I was concerned about the Midas, because something we've seen before in games is people go Midas, you get punished heavily for it, you're still very squishy, you're not maybe doing the most damage because, yeah, up attack speed, but if you don't hit hard, it doesn't matter too much. But because of the lack of Shadowblade out of Slok early, since he also went a Midas, and because this Viper actually having a bit harder time than we maybe expected, nobody's punishing Morphling.
And it's obviously very hard to do so. if the Wyvern or the Spirit Breaker aren't in position. To be honest, even if they are, like their ability to burst down a Morphling, not there right now. They need a lot more items on to be a potent threat, and of course they would need the Iron Shell as well as the Viper to possible.
Dire's middle tower is
Artez
under
caught
attack.
without mana.
Radiant's
Oh goodness,
bottom
he's getting back in back. He's very close. He's morphing strength. He's gonna get Winter's Curse and Shallow Grave. He might still be able to get out of this with the help of his Dazzle. And there's a hookshot in if they can just hug him away. But one last hit gets the kill. And now the rest of the lineup, although Fodder going very deep. Gorge trying to manage to pull him into the base, but Fodder instead just down to half health. Can Scandal do anything else here? Sonic Wave is on cooldown for 30 more seconds. And hookshot is down as well. They do throw out a nice little Splinter Blast. Jerax may be in a spot of trouble. I think he has another Cold Embrace for himself if he's worried at all. So really nice pick off on Artez, and kind of funny because, you know, you think you're that close to your base, probably why he was limping back to base, he had no mana. Not the
Dire's
case.
structures
Yeah,
are fortified.
there's obviously a lot of good vision coming out, but on that side, it's a Spirit Breaker on. You always have to watch out whether you're getting charged or not. And this is a level 2 Spirit Breaker at 10 minutes into the game. Look at him now, he's got a Shadow Blade.
Yeah. Shadow Blade, level 11, doing good work, and the Shadow Blade here does feel like sometimes Spirit Breakers go Glimmer Cape, sometimes they go Shadow Blade. Here I really like the Shadow Blade because it's that surprise assassination factor, and since you do always get the bash on the Charge of Darkness, then following it up with the Nether Strike, you can maybe lock down the Queen of Pain, maybe lock down the Morphling.
Very strong indeed. Goro falling pretty low here. He's gonna Shadow Blade, I think, for the... yeah. Pretty
Bit
close.
worried there. So, but of course these players much more experienced than me, and sometimes you get worried and it's like, no, they're completely fine, they know what they're doing. So what do you go after the Lincolns? I feel like this Morphling, he's got up the Lincolns, he's going to be less susceptible to some of the things, although of course Viper Strike might be used to burn that instead of the Winter's Curse, and you can also use Splinter Blast, although it's a bit weird.
Jerax
Actually,
is in
Morphling,
trouble.
Speaking of Splinter Blast, Jerax, yeah, dead. What do you go next for damage on a Morphling here?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like Manta's a good option, but he might. I don't know. I think my abilities. This is one of those games where this Morphling has to hard carry. He has to solo carry this game,
Yeah.
and for that he needs 6 items. And to get to 6 items, he needs.
It's actually kind of surprising to me that he went for the Lincolns just because, oh, we have an engagement up top, Nether Strike coming out, Gorech Shallow Graved up, but Matumba Man, he is here. Can
Oh,
they
this is not
return?
gonna work.
What's not gonna work?
The timing
Oh,
was
yeah.
off. Yeah, you already got batched up for more than 3 seconds. No matter what.
Oh, a nice little pickup. I wonder here as well, the Lincolns, I don't think it's bad at all. There are lots of great spells it blocks, and they're all big spells, except for maybe the Splinter Blast. But with the prevalence of something like Lotus Orb, maybe it's something where I would say actually maybe rely on your teammates to get a Lotus Orb up. Someone like the Clockwork, who's actually farming pretty well.
I think the Lotus is definitely a good idea. There's a lot of single time I have to worry about, but that's more of a fight thing. It's just one of those items. When you're dealing with a Spirit Breaker and a Wyvern as the main control sources on the enemy team, you want it, especially because Lincoln procs the Spirit Breaker charging away from like 5,000 rings across the map, and it's just really good to have in that sense. You can never get ganked by the Spirit Breaker in that sense.
Yeah. Tumberman finishing up his Sergeant Yasha, so starting to bring some hurt to the party himself.
Oh, this is new. They're Roshing now. Just tanking up with the Replicator loop. This is a really, really good Roshan. They're doing it without a medallion, and they're doing it quite fast.
Yeah, and it looks like actually some members of Liquid having an idea, but they're not going to get there fast enough. Matumba coming in, and he is going to be late to the Roshan. He might get a pick up here onto the Rubik, but maybe they're fine trading that. He's in his Shadow Dance form, and can they get any sort of other kill? The rest of... Okay, yeah, they just let the Rubik die. I think that's fine if you're not feeling like you're ready to engage, especially with the Replicate.
Yeah,
Replicate actually was still fine, so...
That was fast. It seemed pretty deliberate too. They don't have the best warding around the area, but they just recognized where Liquid's heroes are with their warding and said, hey, I don't think they can respond in time. Do it. And they took it down pretty quickly than I had imagined. His Morphling actually, if he's able to get hits for almost 200 damage a hit, pretty good.
And another thing to mention is they had good, like as you said, they had the good vision on where Liquid's heroes were, and they had areas pushed out, so it wasn't as obvious, you know. Oh, okay. Scandal, I know you have Ags, but sometimes you scare me when you Sonic Wave or Creep Wave, especially when a push is coming on your bottom lane.
Yeah, that was actually not a good call. That shows Liquid that even though there's an Aegis on the other team, still apply some pressure.
And as you
Looks like
said,
they're poised to do so.
it buys wasted time on that Aegis because they know Scandal's probably not going to initiate until his ult is back up, and so now Artez, they can go on him a little bit, or even that Artez will just dodge them. Because they could choose to wait out this Aegis on the side of Liquid.
That
So-
Viper illusion. Since here.
Yeah. And Fodder is being healed up. Yeah, somebody needs to hurt the Viper illusion and then we get funky stuff happening, but no such luck. We're gonna see a slow siege in. Scandal does have his ult back, and I think a lot of this the initiation mind control just 4-man vacuum
Oh
from
my
nowhere.
goodness.
There's the charge, there's the Winter's Curse. Did that just happen? They've got the Queen of Pain, they've got Gorech and Artez. He's trying to waveform away, but he manages to replicate out, but he's in the backlands of the fight with the clockwork going down. Where did Artez end up going? He's back in base. Okay, I don't know. Mind control just walked up there. Did I see that wrong?
They actually
He
just
didn't.
walked in. Broke a charge from an angle that they weren't expecting it, so...
But the mind
that was
control
pretty good,
vacuum came before the charge is
Yeah.
what stunned me. Like, he just literally walked in, said, "Hello guys, I'm a Doxia."
Yeah, that was actually very sloppy. So even this Morphling now, he's picked up a Eagle Horn. I'm not sure if he's going to E-Blade still. Faded into the past, but he's not going to be able to hold any. If at the very least, they're going to lose.
Yeah. And this game suddenly in Liquid's favor after that team fight. They were definitely pulling ahead slowly, but I wasn't expecting them to take the win here. Matumba Man, is he going to?
Oh
he goes
my
down.
goodness.
Morphling sniper, Morphling. Never let him be called anything else. And Matumba Man making a bit of a big mistake. It's going to actually secure them the defensive racks. I think if Matumba Man were around. It depends. People were respawning. It would be close either way. And hookshot off the mark, unfortunately. So, Yellow Submarine getting a second life.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not sure if that changes like what just happened with. I don't know if that changes the dynamic of how the game will proceed from here on out. Again, Liquid's wombo combo is ridiculous. Yellow Submarine, they definitely got caught with their pants down, but I see another like at least 2-3 man vacuum into a and it's not hard to execute against those heroes that are always gonna have to be close to an extent.
Additionally, Mind Control has the blink as
Radiant's
well, so
middle
I mean he
tower
got
is
away
under
with the
attack.
walk up that time. He doesn't need it though.
He has
And
a
if Yellow-
force staff now too. He can close a lot more distance. Got 2k. If he ends up getting the Shivas or the BKB, it'll become that much easier.
Yeah.
So again, even with Matumba's death here, Tez he got up in E-Blade now, and they don't get a whole bunch of kills with the combo and threaten the whole map on Liquid, which I don't think they'll be able to. Then we're looking at a tough scenario yet again.
So Kuroki has casually got 3.6k gold and actually might think that he's
Oh
going for a
my
gank. Oh, Matumba Man, that is not where you want to be. He's gonna
Radiant's
leap
middle
down to the
tower
low
has
ground, the
been
hook
denied.
shot. Oh.
Blink to
Yeah.
dodge the hook. That was nice. That was pretty sweet.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and we're gonna have another team fight. And here comes Mind Control. He is on his way over. The lineup of Yellow Submarine have to be careful. Fodder actually going forwards while
the
blowing
snipe.
up the Wyvern. Another snipe, and now Fodder is in a bit of trouble. But here it comes. We've got to charge in, and there's a wall vacuum onto 3 this time, but that is good enough. Gorech taking a lot of damage. But Postka just saying, "I need to leave," and they're actually gonna kill out Gorech and Artez. Oh, Gorech I think falls here, but Artez getting another one of those snipes. Artez is hitting hard here, although he might be in trouble because both him and his replicate are really nearby. They pick up the Queen of Pain. He's got out the Ethereal Blade and going for the GP, but vacuum, it should be... Oh, they managed to burn the Aegis, and he's running away his replicate, so he should be able to get out there. He's actually going for the
Fodder.
snipe onto Fodder. Artez is out, though. Yellow Submarine doing a lot better in these fights considering this vacuum that's coming out, because I have to say, Mind Control playing really well.
Yeah, it's the MVPs of these fights for sure are definitely Artez on Yellow Submarine side and Mind Control on side of Liquid. Fodder going in a little deep, and of course kind of got isolated
Dire's
by the
middle
clockwork there,
tower is
and
under
Mind Control
attack.
came in to try and save him, but unfortunately the winner's curse was already eliminated the team fight because Artez sniped him out with the E-Blade combo. And hey, if you're gonna get snipes like that to start the fight 4v5, basically better than a Doom.
Yeah. So it was also just he went super deep with it, but of course Morphling a very mobile hero, so he was in and out. And it was something funny too, where Fodder also dived really deep to. He just knew he was tanky enough, especially
Yeah.
with this new AC coming out, and he was just kind of in the middle of 4 members of Yellow Submarine, not going down for quite a while there.
I think Fodder might really look into Manta style by now. There's a lot of single target and a lot of single target focus coming out of Yellow Submarine that he wants to evade, especially the E-Blade combo, even Corrosive Skin. That's a combo that's always gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
You just dodge the E-Blade, which is a projectile. Definitely just proceed to be stronger. Fight.
And
Oh, it's either
Kuroki,
BKB, I think, or Manta that should be his next item.
Kuroki picking up the Lotus Orb himself. When it reflects the Ethereal Blade, it does it based on your own stats, right? Lotus Orb?
I believe it does. It's like kind of
Yeah.
recasting the ability, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I've never seen a Lotus E-Blade interaction this way. Buys items in the same game ever.
Yeah.
Days.
One thing we saw last game, I don't know, you probably know about this one, but it was something I'd seen for the first time. A charge, if the target you're charging smokes, the charge is just cancelled. First time seeing that in an earlier game, and that was pretty exciting. It's not something that happens terribly often, you know? So. But yeah, this Lotus Orb, so something actually funny for Yellow Submarine, I was mentioning how they can get a Lotus Orb. I actually think it's always really risky to get a Lotus Orb into the Spirit Breaker, because I'm the Spirit Breaker. If I'm across the map, maybe I'm like chilling here farming, I see someone casually cast the Lotus Orb, or maybe there's another engagement on their ally, I might just charge them to make the person who's Lotus Orb have awful positioning.
Yeah, it's actually very good in that. Really screw around with their usage.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it's something they needed as so it's gonna be hard. If Kuroki plays around it with their positioning, then it just go in the other way and itself as a well, they need it. And no real complaints here so far.
Yep. And we will be seeing Morphling continuing to get his farm up, working on that Scotty, most likely his next item. Miposhka also has a Vlad's for the team, so they're really betting it all on this.
This Morphling has to carry 1v5 this game. And he's actually getting the scenario to do 21k net worth. The next guy up is actually Mind Control. 16k almost.
Well, that's what you get when you land amazing vacuum combos.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, he's going for, and they just miss out. So Morphling escaping and Mind Control not able to make it latch. I would say with these vacuums and then the charges through by Kuroki, oh, they're going again and no such luck. It's almost like having some strange sort of black hole. It's like their own, because of the charge through, they're getting a really long duration on a lot of heroes. So, now looking around the map, we still have a huge lead for Liquid. I'm a little bit surprised by that just because of how well the Morphling is doing, but of course the Queen of Pain having a rough time herself. 12,000 net worth lead and 12,000 experience for Liquid.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little bit worse now. There's Roshin that I don't think Liquid has a clue about it.
And the Scotty is finished up. Another interesting thing to point out is I believe they're going, very few people worried about buyback here despite the state of the game. For Liquid, I don't think that's unusual because they have a lot of towers left, but for Yellow Submarine, I think you have to stop being careful because if you take one bad engagement, you can be out.
Yeah, for sure. But this Morphling has Aegis now, so his margin of error just expanded pretty vastly, I would say. At the very least, if he gets comboed down by a couple of ultimates, he's happy about it because back he's going to be able to fight without dealing with those crowd control ultimates. That's a really big deal. I'm surprised Liquid actually tested them at all for that Roche. They should have had a timer in.
Yeah, Gorich, he manages to throw out some Viper Strike action. Matumbaman may be in a bad spot, but there it is. Reflected, it doesn't do nearly enough damage to the Morphling. Actually, his Lincoln popped it, never mind. And so now Fodder taking a lot of damage as well. Artez is Winter's cursed up, but again, those are the ultimates. He doesn't mind burning that, but the rest of his team falling. Scandal melts, but Post is gonna fall too. And now it's gonna be Morphling against the world. I don't know if Artez has this. He immediately gets away. And just like last team fight, I don't know how well he defends against the rest of Liquid, and this might just be GG for game 1.
I think so. Again, the Morphling worked out until this point because he has the highest net worth and they did a good job in lanes. Got a couple more kills than they should. Team fight, look at the lineups overall. I don't see how Yellow Submarine can take this game past 40 minutes unless Morphling's just completely out of control snowballing. Yeah, there's so much sustain coming out of Liquid too with Guardian Greaves, heals from Wyvern, Urns. We're gonna keep going.
Oh, Artez, he's turned into a little bit of a piggy and he's vacuumed back and now a lot of damage coming out. Matumbaman gets the bash, of course he does. I'm not gonna be surprised if we see GG's coming out. And he gets the bash again onto Scandal. He doesn't have the Abyssal yet. He's just bashing like a... He is bashful. He practices, clearly. And that's our GG call. We're going to head into a game 2. Thank you so much for joining me, Clairvoyance. This is fantastic. Do you have some final words?
Oh no, I'm fortunate I can't join for game 2 because I have some errands to run, but I can hopefully look at demonstrations, Dota again, and Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, we'll be seeing, once again, folks, you've been watching Star Ladder, Liquid versus Yellow Submarine. I'm Llama Down Under. I was joined by Clairvoyance. Please show him your love. Do you have Twitter?
No, I'm a hermit without any
You're a
social.
hermit. Okay.
Don't worry about me, but I'll show up eventually.
Anyway, I would love your feedback on how to get better. You can leave that at Llama Down Under on Twitter, Twitch, or Facebook. Really, I also will say hello in the comments afterwards or whatever. But I am going to leave it to a word from the Star Ladder sponsors. So please enjoy, and we'll see you in next game.